What is up, my friends? Welcome to another Global Economic Report. Today, I got something interesting for you. I think you're going to like it a lot. Recently, we had the staff members from JP Morgan doing the Zero Hedge piece, fully admitting that they have been actively involved in gold and silver market manipulations through vehicles like futures and ETFs. Recently, we had the chairman of the SEC, Jay Clayton, make comments on market manipulation in Bitcoin. I thought it would be cool if we went back in time a little bit and went through some of the big market manipulations throughout history. Okay, buckle up. Let's dive in. In 1980, we've got the Hunt brothers, which was a wealthy Texan family, tried to corner the silver market. Subsequent fall in silver prices led to panic on commodity and futures exchanges. To this day, it's known as Silver Thursday. In the 80s, traders known as the Guinness Four manipulated the London stock market to inflate the price of Guinness shares to thereby assist Guinness's $4 billion takeover bid for Scottish drinking company Distillers. Next, in 1995, Yasu Hamanaka, the chief copper trader for Japanese trading house Sumitomo Corporation, allegedly attempted to corner the entire world's copper market. It resulted in $1.8 billion in losses over 10 years. Let's see, we got in 2002, JP Morgan Chase trader nicknamed the London Whale accumulated outsized CDS positions in the market, resulting in an estimated $9 billion in losses. The whole credit default swap market was impacted by this. Some even made a fortune out of it. In 2007, a Bank of Montreal nat gas trader falsified his book with the help of a third-party brokerage firm providing the false quotes. It ultimately resulted in $640 million in losses. Between 2008 and 2010, JP Morgan Chase and HSBC are suspected to have gained billions in manipulating the silver market. Together, they controlled over 85% of the commercial net short positions in the market. Now, for a lot of people, this isn't new news because JP Morgan took over the short position for Bear Stearns when they went under in 2008. In 2001, after years of witnessing Enron's stock manipulation, in-house accountant Sharon Watkins blew the whistle. Enron ended in one of the biggest bankruptcies in history. It also led to the dissolution of a Big Five audit firm, Arthur Andersen. That was a doozy. In 2015, JP Morgan, Citigroup, Barclays, RBS, and UBS pled guilty to conspiring to manipulate the price of US dollars and euros exchanged in the FX spot market using invitation-only chat rooms and coded language to coordinate their trades. This was a big one that blew up. Really, really big. UBS in some trouble again, actually, recently. In October 2008, 4 of 6 executives from the Iceland-based Kaupthing Bank were caught trying to inflate share prices. The then Prime Minister of Iceland dumped all of his shares hours before the financial crash that followed. Former telco giant WorldCom came under scrutiny after some serious book cooking in the early 2000s. The company recorded its operating expenses as investments. Ultimately, the firm lost 30,000 employees and incurred $180 billion in losses. In 2008, we got Bernie Madoff. The former chairman of the NASDAQ was arrested for allegedly running a Ponzi scheme. His fund consistently recorded an 11% gain every year for 15 years. The scheme duped investors out of approximately $50 billion. In 2002, Health South, at the time America's largest healthcare service providers, came under scrutiny after the CEO sold 75 million of stocks days prior to releasing an earnings loss. An accounting scandal followed. Share went from $20 to 45 cents. In 1997, Canadian company bre-x Minerals announced the discovery of a deposit which was reported to contain more than 200 million ounces, was said to be the richest gold mine ever. The company collapsed after the gold samples were found to be fraud. That's actually really common in the minerals market, is to, what do they call that? Pepper your samples? In 2002, some of the world's biggest banks were caught rigging the London Interbank's offered rate, or LIBOR rate, which underpins approximately 350 trillion in derivatives. Miraculously, only one person was convicted at the end of the day. Which that brings us to today. Is Bitcoin being manipulated? Well, it's considered a commodity, and it does have a daily market cap that's bigger than a lot of current commodities. And the transparent nature of the blockchain itself would make it really easy to track and audit. So I think it would make sense for it to become a big player. I also do think that it's fairly easy to manipulate. We have CME, CBOE, and now ICE is already involved by getting behind Backed, or launching and starting Backed, BAKKT, which will hit mid-January. I do believe that it is manipulated, and it could be as simple as accumulating physical Bitcoin while driving down the price of Bitcoin through futures contracts on something as simple as CME or CBOE. And they've effectively done that because Bitcoin's price has now been around 4,000. It's dipped down to 3,600 and hasn't broke above like 42.38. 36, 38. So the price has been suppressed down quite a bit, and it's going to be a coincidence that this happens just before we have some major institutional tools launching in January. I believe Fidelity is jockeying now to get something rolling as soon as December, but January I think is going to be a big month. So my assumption is yes, to a degree, it is being manipulated. There's a lot of people that claim that it is now. Ever since we essentially stopped the parabolic growth curve that was occurring in December and completely went the opposite direction after the future contracts were launched on CME and CBOE, a lot of people have now changed their tune and agree that Bitcoin to a degree is being manipulated. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just a quick walk down memory lane. I think we're going to do different types of videos like this, maybe some of the biggest scams in history, not just manipulation and what that led to, okay? Which obviously, as you just heard, has led to some really, really massive losses, not only on companies, but their stockholders and every single family that was involved in that brand or that company were deeply affected by some of these situations. There you have it, my friends. Like the video if you want to comment, if you got some feedback, if you got something to say about what we just talked about, love to hear from you in the comment section below. If you're brand new to the channel, you know the deal. Click the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. That way you don't miss out on any of our future updates. Be on the lookout, more videos dropping soon, my friends. Okay, bye.